Hello and welcome
Oh, welcome back.
to the podcast.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so are we going to talk about the format?
Yes.
So, Miss Jessica Shannon had a beautiful idea. Okay, first of all, the intention with this podcast was always to have different seasons. So let's say, I don't know, we never really discussed how many, but for example, 15 episodes per season or whatever, which means we're coming to the end of season 1. And then we would have taken like a week break or whatever and come back for season 2. So in our time now where we're going to come back for season 2, we're going to rebrand a little. Not really rebrand, but repackage.
So basically I was thinking just about platforms and which platforms are more beneficial right now. And obviously that's going to depend on what kind of content you're going to put out there, because if your content is going to be, extremely controversial, TikTok is very big on censorship. So if you're not into that, you got to, do it somewhere else. You can do it on like a Patreon where people have to pay or whatever, You got to think about the type of content you're putting out there. But especially recently, we've been enjoying doing multiple topics or short bits of information and then moving through different topics on the podcast. And so I was like, what platform is very beneficial for that? And obviously that is TikTok right now.
And the thing is, we have a TikTok, but we're barely using it.
Yeah.
So...
And I think we're all consuming, TikTok content all the time.
Oh, dude.
It's the most bite-sized pieces of, information.
Yeah. Just yesterday I saw a TikTok of a guy that was like, are we all falling off the YouTube bandwagon? Because I literally just spent 10 minutes trying to find something to watch, and then I just closed the app and ended up on TikTok. And some guy stitched it and he was like, yeah, YouTube is dying. First of all, they're unskippable ads.
It's very hectic.
Too much.
And that it's 2 at a time.
Dude, it's too much. And then, so people are like, YouTube is just getting very comfortable, and they were the golden child for so long, so now they
were the only people that offered you a place to post any long-form content.
So now they're just sticking with that, and it is what it is. And people were like, the YouTube is the new, what DSTV used to be.
Yeah.
Literally.
And so, I don't know, this long-form content is just not the vibe, just not entirely the right vibe. So
especially for future projects.
Yeah, we're gonna try something new. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you'll see us, maybe you won't. But you can definitely find us on TikTok. We'll leave all our stuff linked below, like always. Just know the podcast might be moving to TikTok as a podcast still. And you'll see what that means as we go.
Yeah, we'll see what it means as we go. We're figuring it out as we go. That's our theme for this whole podcast. We're figuring it out as we go.
Yeah. And so you will probably find us there. But we should still be uploading to Spotify, even if we're not uploading to YouTube. Just because we do have a platform there, and I know for a fact that people do listen there. And podcasts are definitely still a thing on Spotify.
Yeah, of course. Cool. So that's exciting.
Very. Oh, and also we have a new background.
Yeah, welcome. We mentioned this a few episodes back, but then we
never did it
because we had still needed to finish some of the paintings. So.
And then we had COVID. So.
Our plant is dying. Don't mind her.
She's currently almost deceased.
She is
also to date
struggling.
My plant's doing well. She's just no longer a host of this podcast. She's decided to take permanent residence elsewhere.
Yes.
She's tired of moving.
She can't handle it anymore, guys.
And
we can't handle it anymore.
Yeah, the stress.
Okay, so let's get into it. Number 1. Stromi Baby.
Stromi Baby.
We need answers, guys.
Kylie, Miss Jenner.
Miss Jenner, please.
Don't sue us for this. But what's happening?
No, what is going on? Because first of all, now she's reposting stuff that we already saw in the To Our Son video. And making it as if it's new stuff. It's not new stuff. We've already seen the ultrasounds. We've seen the feet. Well, there's new feet now. A new foot pic. or
But
whatever.
like, where's the rest of? It's a child. Where's the child?
Where's the child? What's the child's name? Can we at least
Who
get a
is
name?
who's the child?
I don't want to like. I'm all for like hiding your baby from online stuff, like whatever, because people can be really
Ruthless.
ruthless and just disgusting, especially with kids.
We saw that with Blue Ivy Carter.
Oh my gosh. So I don't want to be like, show us your baby, but can we at least get a name?
Give us some insight.
So we know, and we don't keep being like, Wolfie baby.
Wolfie baby, but it's not Wolfie.
It's not Wolfie, so what is it?
And also, I know she released a statement saying, like, they haven't officially changed the name. They don't want to tell us the name, and then they change it again, which obviously makes sense. But this was 2 months ago. Like, by now they should have changed the name.
You can't tell
legally.
me that for 2 months they've been calling the baby. Like,
No name. Baby, no
look at
name.
my son. Yeah, what's his name, babe?
Yo, who is he?
Give
And
it to
like,
us
if
now.
that's the decision you make, like, your baby's name isn't the right one. Like, I get it. Like, you don't know it. It's a brand new person that just came out of the womb. It's
Yeah.
fine to go, this name doesn't suit you, but like, give us something else to work with.
2 months, guys.
Just something, an indication. But now my thing is like, what if she named it like Valentine, like that guy was predicting, and she sued him for that, so now she can't say like,
Oh my god.
by the way, guys, we decided to name it Valentine.
Yeah, now there's a whole legal battle because, you know, it could, like, what else could it be? Why would you be taking so long?
But like, what is another like
Possibility.
E name? Because it's all Normie, Stormy,
Yeah.
Rosie.
Do you think it's a name that ends in E?
All her dogs and her other child is E.
But the baby's name was Wolf or Wolfie.
Wolf, but she called them Wolfie. That was like the point.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. And they very much like having like that a theme with their kids.
But also, I'm like, what if the baby, what if Travis is just like, this baby must have my name?
Oh no.
You know?
This is one thing, guys. Please don't name your children after your dad, your mom, your husband's name.
I just remembered this guy that I met
That's
in university.
Oh,
I think I've
I
told you about him before.
Yeah.
I think he has the most interesting story, but I think it's like really strange. But it's like interesting, but like weird. And I didn't believe him. And if you're watching this, I'm sorry that I'm speaking about you, but his name is De Vijfde.
Oh yeah, you told me.
And I didn't believe him, but that's his name. Or no, his name is De Zesde. And his father's name is De Vijfde. And his grandfather was De Vierde. And they are like literally like that's their name.
That's so fucked. But now,
Which
what
is-
if I have a kid and I don't want to give him the 70?
No, but like it's gonna become a problem at some point. But like I know he was fully intending to continue the tradition. I'm like, but I don't know, they did it in kind of a cool way. But like, you know, other people are called like Johannes die Vijfde. He's just die Zesde. Die Zesde finish. And that like that's fully his. I really didn't believe him till I saw his ID, and like that's fully his
That's
entire
crazy.
name.
No, dude, I really don't like naming your child after someone, especially like, let's say you have a baby and the baby's name is now Marius. No,
Yo, I wouldn't do that.
why? Like,
I
give
don't
the
get,
baby
like-
its own personality, its own identity. Do whatever you want with your child. I don't care, but no, don't do that.
On that note, do you? Because I think I believe it. That like the name you give your child influences who they become. Like
Yes, of course.
like all Christophs are the same type of people.
Yes, dude. But it like when you meet someone and you don't know their name, then you find it out. You're like, yeah, that makes sense,
Or that does not make sense.
or that does not make sense. But
Yesterday I was talking to a coworker named Naomi, but we all call her Naomi. And she's like, my name's actually Naomi. And we're like, but that doesn't suit you. Like you look at her and you're like, Naomi.
yeah, but people do take on like the essences of their names, I think.
And there's like, it's like so strange because sometimes like people's name will be like Danielle, but it'll be like Danielle. Danielles are, sorry to offend you, but you're not my type of
Sorry
person.
to all the Danielles out there.
You're not my type of person, baby. You're not. And then Danielle, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, dude, but it does happen. You know when, oh, dude, like looking at celebrity second names, you're like, this is it. Like,
But like Kylie Kirsten Jenner.
but it makes sense
Kirsten.
because it's Kristen, not Kirsten. There's a difference.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Kirsten's off.
Is it Kirsten?
It's Kristen.
Kristen.
I think it's Kristen.
Can I look?
Yes, you can look. But like Kendall Nicole Jenner makes so much sense.
Nicole makes sense for her. But the thing is also like,
And she's a fucking Scorpio.
there's a big difference between Nicole and Nicole.
Nicole.
There's a big difference. Wide variety.
No, yes, I agree. I feel like any reiteration of the name Nicole, like
No, it's Kristen.
yeah,
Kristen.
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 Kristen makes sense. If it was Kirsten, then it's
I
fine.
thought it was Kirsten. That's why I was like, what the fuck is this?
No, Kristen's nice. And
But what if Chloe's middle name for her to be K-A-K? Because she put that on all of her suitcases a few years back, and I remember opening my Instagram and being like,
girly?
do you know?
I know you don't speak Afrikaner,
Yeah,
but
I know you're not African, but baby.
baby, you can most think. Even in English, it doesn't sound nice.
Yeah.
What is her second name?
I'm looking now.
Antonia.
Doesn't make sense. Chloe Alexandria.
Oh, yeah.
Alexandria.
Alexandria.
There's also a big difference between people who like being called Alexandria and people who like being called, or like Drea, and then the ones who like being called Alex.
Mm-hmm. Big difference.
Big.
And also difference between Alexandria and Alexandra.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Because Alexandrias are more like, I don't know, they give Chloe vibes. Like
Yeah.
meticulous and like they like things to be a certain way.
And I feel like they always have the same type of hair, like Chloe hair, like that blonde wave.
I've only ever met blonde Alexandrias.
Yeah, me too.
And Alexandras are like so free. I'm like, oh my god, life is beautiful.
Alexandras are like, they're almost like game characters. Like they're almost
like an avatar.
Yeah, an avatar. The one time, guys, Oriana's a very polite person in times where sometimes she needs to just be rude. She'll try to be polite, right? But this one time, this lady phones her. And she's sitting in my house, and I was shook. This lady goes, hi, who am I speaking to? And Oriana goes, you phoned me. This poor lady. She's like,
But
yes.
I was having a bad day, guys.
She's like, yes, I'm from the wedding dress destination. I see you put your details in here. I just don't know how to pronounce your name. She's like, oh, it's Oriana.
Dude, like out of all the times I could have been rude, I chose that one time.
You phoned me.
You
The lady's like,
called me bitch.
yes. I don't know what the fuck your name is, my love.
And don't phone me. No,
But honestly, can we quickly, I know we're talking about other things.
Yes.
Next section. Can we just quickly speak about like how whack wedding dress fittings are?
Okay, let's get into it. Because we had an experience.
An experience.
Okay, firstly, the first place we went to. Lovely. Beautiful. It was giving say yes to the dress vibes. Like, the lady would bring me a dress and then she would walk behind, but there was like a screen, so we didn't really know she was there, but she was listening to everything we said. And she knew exactly like, okay, she doesn't like this, she doesn't. Then the next dress she brings, I didn't even tell her, and she brought things
So
that I
basically
liked.
what they did is like there's like it's so cute how they set this up. There's like these cute little sections that are really pretty that you can take like really nice pictures of yourself. There's mirrors on all sides. There's a cute little like dressing nook. Your family can sit on these chairs. They bring you champagne or coffee or whatever. And then you're fitting on the dress. Then you come out with the dress and you're standing on the little platform and you can like look at it and talk about it with your family. So obviously we're making comments, maybe not this color, maybe not quite this shape, whatever. And she's left the room, but she can still hear you even though you don't know it. Which is a bit creepy, but like it helps because then she's like, because I feel like a lot of time you don't want to be like honest with sales consultants and just be like, okay, this dress is ugly and I don't like it.
Yeah,
you know?
and they're not just standing there awkwardly staring at you.
Yeah.
Like, it was just such a nice vibe the way
So
they
then she
did
just brings you the next dress that she thinks she'll like more. And like the thing that I really liked about that place is like if you said, I don't like sequins, They're not like, okay, but just try one with sequins. They're like, okay, you don't like sequins. And if they bring you a dress with sequins, they're like, this is not for the sequins, it's just for the shape. Just look at the shape, and then we can look at other dresses with the same shape, you know?
That was the best.
Yeah.
The second place we went to, however,
extremely ghetto,
was just, guys, okay, please let me know if you've experienced anything similar. Or if you have a bridal shop, you work there, don't do this.
Please.
So I tell the lady, listen, I know exactly what I want. I just want to see if you guys have it. I already know the shape, whatever. I'm not here to fit things on. Okay.
And the material was like important.
Let's just have an open mind. I'm like, okay, God, okay. Now, I go into the dressing room, whatever, change. What did she say to you?
The magic of the bride, she is coming.
She goes, before she opens, she's like, and now you're not gonna recognize her. And she opens.
And here comes Oriana wearing a dress with the most lace I've ever seen in my life, and she does not like lace. That's the one thing we say to this lady.
The opposite of what I wanted. That's what she puts me in. And I'm like, okay.
And I'm supposed to go, oh, lovely. Beautiful. I'm like, this is not it. Like, no.
Yeah. And
this
then
is not the right dress.
The next dress, she puts me into a fucking matric dance dress.
And it was pink.
It was pink, fully pink.
She's okay, Oriana said, I would like a white satin dress. Like at the previous place, this beautiful place where we were fitting things, like any lace dress they put her in, we would lift it up and dig underneath the dress to find like the underskirt and put that over and be like, oh, this is beautiful, base material. So we know at this point she wants satin, okay? She wants very plain, like just white satin. This lady puts her in a poofy pink dress with tulle
and like these strappies, and I was like, I want something with sleeves, whatever, these
like boob tube.
Boob tube. Titties are out.
And she's like, I'm trying to have a modest wedding. Like, what is this?
Dude, and then every time I come out, the lady's like, the magic of the dress.
And then she would just stand there and like look at me like expecting me to go, very nice. So then at some point she realized, okay, this isn't working. We're not vibing with her dresses because she keeps putting her in pink and lace and sequins. So she asks her, so have you found a dress that you like? Oriana's like, I found the perfect dress, which is what I told you at the beginning. This lady's like, okay, do you have a picture? Show me. So Oriana's showing her. She's like, I want the satin dress. She says, we have exactly the same dress. Hang on. Comes out with like a sheen version or like a flippin' like the worst remake of a dress you've ever thought of in your life. Puts this on Oriana and goes, isn't it beautiful? She clips it with garden clips and everything, like not even the proper like just random. Isn't it?
And she clips it uneven,
it's skew.
Dude.
And it's massive. Isn't it beautiful?
At this point, we were like, yes, okay.
We were like, this is very lovely. But we'll call you next week. Don't call us.
And then, this is the best part, the real kicker. Now we're done with this place. We're like, okay, cool,
finished.
Thank you, bye, we'll phone you, let you know, whatever. Now I go change, whatever, the lady leaves, she comes back, she's going to open the curtain again. She's like, to Jess, now the magic of the dress is over. She's back to her normal self.
Her normal, plain self.
And I'm standing there like, I hate this.
She was literally in her jeans like, let's fucking go.
Let's leave.
I'm not trying to be here.
Yo, dude, no, dress fittings.
No. Please don't be that girl. Like, I understand. Like, if there's 50 family members, maybe the first time, like, here's the magic. Not every time, first of all. Put the bride in what she asks for, or the bride-to-be in what she asks for. And, like, don't be annoying if they tell you they don't like the dress. They don't like the dress. Like, you don't have to be there, like, no, you have to tell me it's pretty.
Especially if I go to a place and I tell you, this is not my first time that I'm fitting on dresses. I'm not here to figure out what I want. I know what I want. I want to see what range you guys have. It was just insane, dude.
No, it was very weird.
Cringy. Okay.
Next up.
Next topic.
On the topic of Kardashian Jenners, what's happening with Marylin's hair being gifted to Kim? Because I'm extremely confused.
It's, first of all, gross. and it's disrespectful.
It's giving colonialism.
It's giving colonialism. It's giving just what's the word? Objectification.
Yeah, but like it's giving like worse than that. Like it's just like slavery, like hectic. Like it's like that. It's like I don't care about your body and you don't have the autonomy and I'm gonna do what I want because at the end of the day I want to look at you and look at a part of your body. It's my choice to do that. Like that's literally the vibe it's giving me, and it's like
it's the whole
extremely
idea.
disgusting.
It's the whole idea of like celebrities put themselves out there, so I am entitled to every aspect of your life and like whatever. It's just really gross.
And she's like fetishized to the point where she's not even like seen as a human anymore. Like she's a real person that lived. And like I understand she was very glamorized and like all this stuff, but like she was still a human and she died and it was tragic. And like there's already so much mystery around her death. And now to get to the point where like she's dead, okay, now we're putting on her dresses to people who should not be wearing it. And now on top of that, we have her hair and we're handing it out as if it's like trinkets.
But how did Ripley get a hold of the hair anyway?
So this is what they're saying, right? Hang on. Okay, so what they're saying is basically that at first they said that the hair was given to Ripley's by a hairdresser that did Marylyn's hair and cut her hair before she sang to the president. But then it was debunked that the person who they said did her hair didn't even do her hair for that event.
Hectic.
So the other person did have a lock of her hair. But so then they said at first that the hair was fake. But apparently Ripley said that no, they didn't receive the hair from a hairdresser. They received it from some person that was in Marylyn's life that she gifted a lock of her hair to, which is weird. But I guess like if that's what you do, that's what you do. And then they acquired it. But that's also not their only sample of her hair. They have 6 samples of her hair that are authenticated. Which is so weird to me.
They're so fucking weird. But this is the thing. They're not like a proper registered museum.
Yeah.
So they don't have to abide by the code of ethics that real museums have to abide by. That's why they got a hold of the dress and they have all this hair and whatever. Because in a normal museum, that wouldn't, like, Kim wouldn't even be able to look at the fucking dress. Like, it would have been so protected.
But museums are also like such a weird topic because like you're like, where do they acquire things? They stole them. They take artifacts from other countries, steal them and put them in glass cases and then say like, oh no, you can't have this back. It costs 12 million, babe.
That's also true.
Like they just steal.
Dude, I was reading up and stuff about I was reading up about Dadaism last night.
Oh, Dadaism is interesting.
And it was so funny because literally like Dadaism is this movement that came up to like oppose like capitalism and all these things, and now like the Dada art is being sold for millions. Like, guys, make it make sense.
But Dadaism is also so interesting because like it's literally supposed to mean nothing. It's made to mean nothing, and humans can't accept that. Like we're like, yeah, but okay, it's so deep because that means this. No, it literally doesn't. It doesn't. That's the entire point, that it doesn't mean that or anything else.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's true. Museums are like it's a tricky thing because on the one hand, there's the whole concept of like conservation and conserving like all this art and like art history and like all these things, but they do be stealing.
It's the same concept to me as like zoos, right? Because I can see the need for zoos. Like I can see we live in cities. We don't naturally come across animals anymore. It's very like different to look at a picture of a rhino and see it in real life. Like those are very different concepts. So I can understand the concept of a zoo. But then when I look at zoos, I'm like, something just isn't right. Like, it just doesn't feel quite right.
It's not right. Dude, but the thing is, like, especially in South Africa, like, we're, I guess, lucky enough to have, like, national parks and things like that, and zoos also. And my thing is, like, if we have, like, the Kruger National Park and things like that, where the animals are in their natural habitat and living beautiful lives.
I don't think we should have, like, a lion, you know, because they can exist naturally here. But when I think about, like, whatever, like a penguin, like, if a kid is going to grow up in Gauteng their whole life, they're never going to get the chance to just see a penguin, you know, in the wild or whatever.
Well, aren't there penguins in Cape Town?
Yeah, well, not everyone goes to Cape Town.
True.
Like, a lot of people don't go.
Oh, you said Gauteng.
Yeah, I'm like, so, like, it's it's an interesting concept. But beyond that, like other animals, like exotic animals, that bird species and stuff that we would never find here, you know, it's interesting to see those things. And I think there is a place for it because it's in conservation as well. Like zoos are part of conservation, and a lot of time they help animal species by reproducing and stuff, and like having animals that can provide like samples if needed, you know, whatever. And they can study those animals and to help the animals in the wild. Like it makes sense. But then in reality, when I'm like at a zoo,
the thing is they have to do it right, and sometimes they just they don't.
It's so difficult to do it right because like ethically, how do you have a polar bear in South Africa?
That's
can't.
The other thing I was gonna say. Like there has to also be a line because you can't have a polar bear in South Africa, guys.
So I think it's important to like have animals that you can see, but like I think there are lines. Like you can't. I just think it's unethical to have like not only like a polar bear. I think it's unethical to have certain dog species in South Africa.
Yeah,
because it's too hot. Like
they can't live in these conditions. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. It's just tricky.
And museums also, it's just tricky. Like, yes, we want to see the art and we want to see the history and whatever, but like at some point it gets weird.
And also like, yes, this piece was stolen and now it's here, but now it's being conserved and
yeah.
if you can see it and it's beautiful. And
it's also like that debate, right? Because there's a lot of art from Africa that is stolen and put in museums. Yeah. And we can say like, oh, like they shouldn't have done this and whatever, and we're completely right for saying that, but at the same time, like, do I trust South Africa to preserve those things? No. Like, we literally, SABC lost the first official recorded movies and stuff that we had that were on those big rolls of tape because they put them in the sun by accident. And the footage is lost.
And like, not just that, like, do we even have the funds to properly conserve
That's what I'm saying. We didn't have the funds and we didn't have the knowledge. And now those things are gone forever. And they could have been somewhere in a museum where they were preserved, where we could still go back and see that footage. Because it was footage of South Africa and stuff that we could go back and, like, look at as, like, art forms that were created here. That's now gone forever. So, like, it's tricky.
It's tricky, yeah. But one thing we can agree on is that Ripley should not have all this Marylin stuff.
And if they have it, don't hand it out.
And don't hand it out and put it on Kim Kardashian.
Don't, like, wear the dress. I don't approve it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but wear the dress. The dress can come back, can be hung up again. Handing out someone's hair, that's like giving someone a kidney. Like, that's a bit weird.
It's gross.
It's not an accessory. It's, like, part of you.
It's part of the human. Like, it's just gross, guys.
Her hair should absolutely, like, be buried with her in the ground. I don't understand why we have it.
Disrespectful.
Very.
Okay. Anyways.
I wanted to ask you, what is your opinion on Jack Harlow?
Who's Jack Harlow?
Hang on. What?
Ooh, show me his face. The guy that Emma interviewed and he was like, love you.
Yeah.
I have no opinion on him. I don't care about his existence. Why?
Have you not seen, like, the obsession? No. Dude, he is
I know
Pete Davidson.
I know everyone's in love with him, but I don't really care.
But that's what I'm asking you about. You just don't have an opinion on him.
No.
You just
I've never consumed any of his content or people talking about him.
Okay.
We're on different sides of the internet. He only became relevant to me when he was like, Lavia, see you inside.
My bitch, he's been fucking relevant.
And Emma was like, what the fuck?
Okay, well, okay, girly.
What do you want to say about him?
I wanted to show you something, but I can't find it now. No, it's fine. Like, if you don't care, you don't care. What must I do about it?
I guess he's, like, cute or whatever, but, like,
That's literally my whole point. Like, I'm very conflicted about, is he actually cute, or is he just cute because people are saying that he's cute? Like,
no, I genuinely, well, being someone that doesn't know his personality, I do think he's cute. He's not, like, drop dead beautiful, but...
Drop dead beautiful.
I mean, he's better than Pete Davidson.
Like, I don't know about that.
But you already know I'm on the I hate Pete Davidson bandwagon.
Yeah,
I can't stand him. I'm sorry.
I don't hate Pete Davidson. I don't understand. I hate the fact that they keep putting him in fucking sunglasses and I can't stop noticing it. But I don't hate Petey.
They won't let him be himself.
No, he has Lyme's disease. He has circles under his eyes. They're like,
No, it's not going with the brand.
It's not the brand. You must put Kim's highlighter under your eyes. What is that brightening powder that she has?
Yeah, the banana powder.
Okay, anyway, I can't find it. Whatever, cool. No opinion on Jack Hollow. Moving on. We're not relevant.
Sorry. I just wanted to talk about, but we kind of spoke about how YouTube is dying. Now there's nothing to watch.
There is nothing to watch. The people who are still creating, Jason Gabriel,
Oh, yeah.
but extremely limited. Like, their content is also becoming, like, so strange.
No, I
because-
haven't watched their shit in long because it's just boring.
Well, she's pregnant now.
The only content that I have been consuming is like commentary channels. I don't know if you watch Smoky Glow and the one therapist lady, her name's Minnie something.
No.
That's all I watch. And like Emma Chamberlain left YouTube. And everyone's always like, where is she coming? She's gonna come back. Is she gonna come back? Whatever. I don't think she's coming back. That's all I wanted to say. Because YouTube is dying, I think.
I look at it. I watch my podcast, Mile High Podcast. Love them. Go watch their stuff. I watch like a lot of true crime stuff that I consume on YouTube. Then I watch Jason Gabriel, but really they're becoming weird. Like for the last year, it's just been like, okay, guys.
It just feels recycled. Like every 2 weeks they're moving, then that's it. Like,
well, they're moving again now, but my thing is like, I can't stand it if every time you're gonna say, okay, guys, we're moving, and you're never gonna tell us where you're going. Like now they're not telling us where they've made 2 vlogs titled "We're Moving," and neither of those vlogs did they say where they're going.
Finish. Yeah, so I don't really care.
And then I watch Zoe and Alfie because they're the OG YouTubers, and I think they'll like stick around on YouTube until the platform is like dead and gone.
Yeah, but I really think we're at the beginning of the end for YouTube.
The platform has just become like not a good place to make content for creators, because YouTube used to be like, that's why they got big. They used to be so great for their like creators. Like they had massive creators funds and the ad revenue all went to the creators, and they had like VidCon and all these things that like created like excitement around YouTube. And now it's just like,
it's not like that anymore. But the thing is, a lot of creators have stopped because YouTube updated their, I don't know if you saw, they updated like their terms and stuff. And like even, I don't know if you saw this guy that started a new podcast. And his first guest was Tana Mojo. And literally his first guest. And then I think the second was Harry from Too Hard to Handle. But what he does is basically, his whole premise is like, you're being held liable for this crime that you committed, and you can't leave this room. I've locked the door until you answer my question. So he was talking to Tana, and then she was just saying like how like back in her YouTube day, which she still makes videos, but like back in the day she would make so much money, and like now barely anything.
That's
She's
what
like,
I'm saying.
I'm just on OnlyFans.
Their ad revenue was like cut in half. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of big creators are either now on like streaming platforms like Twitch, or they're on Patreon where they're getting paid a monthly fee, or they're on OnlyFans. And like a lot of those people are not creating like explicit content. They're just engaging with their fans on that platform because it's just easier.
Yeah. So it's really sad because I really miss Emma's like videos and stuff, but
I miss the era of like good creators and like, you know, I mean, I think it was like a harder industry to break into back then, but like I think it was like cool because it was like there's like 20 creators that are like massive creators and they're doing all these cool collaborations with all these cool big brands, and now it's like not the same.
No, not at all. But I
like,
think YouTube did it to themselves though.
Zoella used to be like, she's still massive, like don't get me wrong, but she used to do massive stuff. Like I don't know who remembers that she like got a house in London that she like filled up with like all of her products, that had like a bike at the beginning, like all this stuff, and like YouTube helped her do those things. And like at VidCon she had like stands or like stage, like all the stuff. And now they just don't have the same magnitude.
Yeah, it's like they're over it now. But YouTube did it to themselves because the creators were still creating and doing amazing things, and then YouTube as the platform just
But you can only suppress your creators so much and not pay them until they're like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna go somewhere else where people are gonna pay me for what I'm doing.
Exactly. It's just sad, Shane.
It is very sad.
Anyways, talking about that and digital things, what happened at this game?
Well, two things. I want to speak about two things, but let's speak about Discam first. Apparently, Discam was hacked in April, and this information leaked yesterday or last week that 3.5 million South Africans' data was hacked. Their names, surnames, cell phone numbers, emails.
Everything. So
that is insane.
And for a month, they were just like, nothing happened.
For a month, they just didn't say anything.
Hectic.
But that is absolutely insane to me. And we were talking about this, if you guys remember, we spoke about this in a couple of episodes ago, like how scary this like digital age is. And now how scary is it that like at a pharmacy you hand in your stuff and like it gets hacked. Like this isn't even like a platform. You didn't even give it to like some external like company. You went to get like medicine.
It is scary.
And now they stole your data.
It is scary.
And we don't know who it is. 3.5 million people is a lot.
That's a lot of people.
I'm probably in there. But what I wanted to speak about is this guy, Gavin DeBacco. I watched a podcast with him recently. Something I found, okay, who he is, he's a leading authority on the prediction and management of violence. And he works with like presidents and like multiple like big people to like any threat basically to that person or entity or whatever it may be, like maybe it's an organization, whatever, he manages and like predicts. And he was talking about like cybersecurity and like digital safety. And one of the things he spoke about is like the program called Pegasus 2, because Pegasus 1 was a program where like governments would send you, or like organizations like that would send you whatever, like an email, you click on it, the program is downloaded on your phone. They can steal all your data through that, you know? Exactly. And you wouldn't know that program was on your phone because it automatically deletes itself when the phone is inactive, so like at night or whatever. But now there's Pegasus 2, which is a no-click system.
Okay.
Meaning if a government wants your information, all they effectively need is your cell phone number. They don't have to send you a message. You don't have to open a message. You don't have to click on anything. You don't have to open it. Nothing.
They just have access.
They have free access. And if it's the government today and Facebook today, tomorrow it's the mafia. Tomorrow it's your neighbor.
Right.
And that's super scary to me.
Yeah, dude. I really think, I don't know, bro. Like at this point, our data is not safe. Like at all.
Yeah, but like your phone is a bit different. Like me giving you my email address is one thing, but you having access to every communication I've ever received, every photo I've ever taken, all my locations, every GPS input I've ever done, every Google search I've ever done. That's a bit different.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like it was gonna happen at some point. And yeah, I don't know where we go from here. Like they have it. What are you gonna do? Literally, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, but we need some kind of like laws or something. Not that a government would ever like. Why would a government ever give themselves less power? They won't. They're not going to put a law in place to give themselves less.
Access.
Yeah.
They won't. I don't know, dude, but it's scary.
Very scary.
But it is what it is. This video is sponsored by NordVPN, where you can safely surf the web.
I don't even think that, like, I think you can have a VPN, but, like, if it's on your phone, it's on your phone.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know, bro. But then what do they use it for? Like, marketing? What?
Well, if it's the government, it depends. Like, because if Saudi can access our president's phone, just cause. Or, like, our president, okay, who gives a fuck about South Africa? If Saudi can access Joe Biden's phone, what's happening?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? That's actually a security threat for, like, the world.
Gonna cause big problems.
Tomorrow, Putin's on fucking Zelensky's phone. Like, it's...
I saw you talking shit to me about me to your mother.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
So,
I'm bombing the capital.
Finish.
You see, like, I feel like that's very dangerous. We're playing dangerous games.
No, it is dangerous, but... It's the world now. We're gonna go into like some kind of digital revolution at some point.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about was, on this point, I watched Elon Musk's documentary recently on Netflix.
What is it about?
SpaceX.
Okay.
And it's very interesting, extremely interesting. And I think it's worth the watch. I found it very cool. I was not breathing at points.
SpaceX always makes me think of like when they released the new iPhone and they're like, you can get it in space gray. That's all I think. Okay. Yes.
No, but actually it's like cool. The company started, Elon was like, guys, I have money for 3 flights. We're gonna build rockets, we're sending them or we're not sending them. 3 flights, if they fail, we're not doing it again.
Let's go. Yeah.
They built the first, it failed. Built the second, it failed. Built the third, failed. Finish. So the engineers are like, okay,
Done.
this is it. Like, Elon calls them into a room, they're like, okay, we're finished, this is done, this is over. Get into the room, Elon's like, I actually have money for one more. One more, and if we fail this one, it really is finished, guys. Like, there's nothing more. 4th one, flies, they win NASA 20 billion contract. Here they go.
They win NASA.
Yeah, they win a NASA contract. Here they go.
Yeah.
Now they're flying people to the space.
Insane.
And then the stuff that like happens from there, very cool. 2 things. Number 1, we know Elon did not own Tesla, like didn't start Tesla. There were other people in power and he basically booted them out. He was like, this is my company now, I'm taking over. Great. Number 2, SpaceX. Wonderful. Beautiful, amazing. Grateful there's a documentary that you can go watch. He didn't invent anything. He just paid.
Yeah, of course.
Great. We look at him, we're like, wonderful. Inventor, engineer, genius. No,
he's not a genius.
Bank account.
He just has money and he knows. But this is the other thing. I don't know if you've seen Trevor Noah's like little bit that he spoke about this. He was talking about Tesla and about...
the stocks.
Yes, and he was like, how does this make sense, guys? Like, he has money with stocks, but it's not really his money, but he can use it as collateral for this, but he doesn't own the money, but...
So he doesn't get taxed on his stocks, but he can use his stocks to buy stuff.
Exactly.
And like he can use his stocks as collateral to take out loans.
Yeah.
So it's not his money, but it's his money.
So Trevor Noah was just like, how does this work, guys? Like, billionaires just have a game with money figured out that only they understand. Because it's like, the bank's going to come to you now and you can't be like, no, my money's in the bank. Like, it's not mine. I don't have it, but it's there. you know,
when
like,
I use it, then you can tax me. But when I don't use it, it's just there. No, they're going to tax you.
So, yeah, anyway, so he has all this money, which is he doesn't actually have, but he does have it. And then he does things like this.
But, like, I mean, and the one, like, it's very difficult. Like, at the one side, we need people like him. And the fact that it's him, like, I'm not saying he's not a fucking supervillain, because he is a little bit. But he's also, like, he is advancing stuff. He's advancing science, and he could have all that money and just buy a private island and chill.
True.
Like, he is using it to advance stuff, because he's giving real scientists the power to take autonomy and privatize an industry that was dying.
Yeah.
And we haven't been to the moon in how long because of government and NASA and whatever. So they could privatize that and make something for themselves. And now they're getting themselves to different places. They were like, okay, cool. NASA doesn't want to take us to Mars. We're going to go to Mars, you know? And that's a noble effort. Like, I think we need that. And I also think, like, I don't think it's everybody's journey, you know? Like, not everybody is meant to be an astronaut and care about space. But there are people who are meant to, like, care about it. And those people are passionate about, like, advancing our horizons and, like, going to other places. And they should care about that. And it's important. And we should give them the platform to care about that. But unfortunately, it costs 37 million rand to fly one time.
Yeah.
So if Elon Musk is like, cool, I have it to give you. Now, like, they did what NASA couldn't do in, like, how much money? NASA's receiving, like billions of dollars. Where, I don't know if you know, like, a couple of years ago, they had to release, like, a paper with just the names of their classified, like, studies, like, their classified stuff.
Okay.
Because basically the public was saying, we have the right to know what our taxes are going towards. We just know that we're sending billions of like dollars to these people, and we don't know what it's being used for. We don't know what
they're actually
doing.
doing.
So they didn't give, like, any descriptions of any, like, program, but they just gave names of, like, and there's, like, hundreds of secret programs that are, like, happening. But in all of this time, it still costs the same amount of money to go to space. Elon started SpaceX, and in less than 20 years, they've literally reduced the cost by, like, millions and millions.
Exactly.
So there's definitely advancement happening. And obviously in, like, Tesla, there's advancements happening. I think the Neuralink, you can be for the Neuralink, against the Neuralink, think that it's creepy, think that it's weird. It's
What's Neuralink?
Who's Jack Harlow? What's the Neuralink?
Really,
do you really not know?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Elon Musk and his scientists have created a chip that will be externally implanted into your brain that will actually make you a superhuman. Like, it will make telepathy possible. It will make it possible to speak to you without any
hectic
words. It can externally make your muscles stronger. If you have vision problems, it can fix those neurons in your brain and help you see. It can literally alter your brain because it's connected to your brain. Hectic, extremely hectic, but also extremely cool. Like, I've spoken about this before. There's a professor of MIT, Nancy, I think it's Kerrigan or something. She put her whole neuroscience course available on YouTube that she teaches at MIT. Incredible, like, very cool, very difficult to understand, but very cool. She tries to break it down as good as possible, but it's still difficult. Either way, it's neuroscience.
Yeah.
But I'm almost done with all of it. It's very, very, very interesting. Extremely complex. You discover that neuroscience actually is fucking crazy. There's actually crazy stuff happening in neuroscience every day. And that's the reason we haven't figured out the brain. But having a billionaire who has a private because now if you're working with MIT and a hospital and you're the patient, now there's all these other things that come into play. There's consent, there's the hospital, there's what the hospital wants out of it, there's what the university wants out of it. Then there's the little bit of science that goes along with it. So it's
politics.
It's politics. It's very difficult to advance the science just based on that. But if it's a private company that's just paying you so I can scan your brain,
they can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want, which is making the advancements of science so much easier. And so I think yes, you can say okay, the Neuralink is unethical because some humans are going to have access to it because they have 100 million to spend and put a neurochip in their brain and not care about it. But the average everyday person isn't going to walk around with a Neuralink in their brain, and it's going to give them an extreme disadvantage. But you can't argue with the fact that it is advancing fields of science that otherwise would take us hundreds of years.
Yeah, wouldn't have happened. That's crazy, dude.
So he's a supervillain and
he's creating robots.
And he's owning Twitter.
In space and in walking on the land. It's insane. He's doing a lot, and it's just so weird. How does he come up with these ideas?
I don't think he does. That's the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. I think we give him a lot of credit for stuff. Listen, I don't think he's an idiot.
No,
please understand. He is obviously smart and intelligent, and he
just loves technology.
The one thing you have to give him credit for, that they also give him credit for in this documentary, and that it becomes very clear that it's actually the truth. And I can commend him for that, because I think a lot of people are very money driven and wouldn't do that. He understands that failure is part of the process inherently. And so if his people fail, it's not an opportunity to reprimand them, but it's an opportunity to say, okay, whatever we learned from this, let's go forward.
Fix it in a different way. Yeah.
And I think a lot of stuff is so, it's capitalist. It's so money driven that if you made a mistake, if you fail one time, it's now we have to really think about, is this the position you need to be in? Am I going to fire you?
We've spent billions of dollars. Who cares?
And he's that's what I'm saying. He's in that position to say, yeah, I can spend the billions of dollars, and we've made 10 mistakes 10 times, and we're going to make 10 more, and maybe we learn something and maybe we don't, and let's do it anyway.
Crazy.
We
learn something new every day. That is my contribution to this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know how to tell you, dude. What I've been consuming lately is not things that are important in the world. At all.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you, mate.
Good morning. Editing me here. Don't mind this lighting. It may or may not be 7 in the morning. Anyways, guys, Mercury is just retrograding. Our video, everything just cut after this point. I don't know how and I don't know why, but we have lost the footage. Don't worry, you didn't miss much. Jess just told me I need a Neuralink so she can send me all the information she wants me to talk about. And then, what else? She said I need to be euthanized. Okay. Love you guys. Namaste.